I'm your host J48 and I'm back with another exciting game review. Let's jump right into this review of Resident Evil Biohazard. Resident Evil Biohazard is a first-person survival horror game that was developed and published by Capcom in 2017. The sole objective of this game is for you to find your wife, Mia Winters, who has been missing for 3 years, and escape with her from one of the most horrifying plantations you will ever step foot in. To do this, you must explore and solve the various puzzles around the plantation grounds, which will grant you access to new areas and resources that will help you progress through and complete the game. You start Biohazard off as Ethan Winters, who is driving to Mia's last known location, which is a fictional parish in Louisiana called Dulvey. Not too soon after arriving to Dulvey, horrific events begin to unfold, which results in you being captured and becoming a guest at an unsettling family dinner. Now you must fight your way through the creatures that inhabit the plantation grounds to find your wife, while also discovering the dark secrets that surround the family that lives there. The visual environment in Biohazard is tattered and just outright filthy, plaguing you with grotesque scenery from the moment you begin your playthrough all the way to the end of the game. For instance, you will be subject to seeing trash-filled houses and shacks that have slime sliding down the side of the walls, along with bugs scuttering across the ground, but don't think that this is terrible for the game. In fact, this filthy environment mixed with the rundown and ruined structures you see throughout the game, makes it feel like you are walking around a haunted estate. This generates a truly frightening atmosphere that will have you shaking in your boots with dread and second-guessing whether you should or shouldn't walk down that dark hallway, which makes the visual environment in Biohazard enjoyable. Biohazard's gameplay feels like you are trying to solve one big giant puzzle, while strategically managing your character to be prepared for any surprises you may encounter throughout the game. For example, there is a statue in one of the rooms that is holding a shotgun, but when you go to grab the shotgun, a gate closes behind you, locking you in the room with the statue until you place the gun back into its hands. This in turn encourages you to search the game's world for items that can be used to fit into the statue's hands as a replacement for the shotgun, which is similar to putting puzzle pieces together. Also, with only a limited number of resources around the map and space in your inventory, you are forced to consider what items you will have to take with you while you explore and when to utilize them. The reason for this is because if you have too many items in your inventory, you won't be able to pick up or craft anything new, and if you waste all your resources such as health and ammo, you won't be able to defend yourself or heal. This makes the gameplay fun and challenging because you must carefully consider your actions in order to effectively progress through the game, which is why the gameplay in Biohazard feels like a giant puzzle. Biohazard provides you with an entertaining incentive to utilize its gameplay mechanics by encouraging you to interact with the various objects that are lying around in the game world. The reason for this is because the objects around the game world have the potential of rewarding you with additional resources such as more ammo for your guns or first aid meds and herbs. For instance, when you interact with the small orange boxes that are sitting on the end tables or outside, there is a chance of you finding a lockpick if you open and rotate them a certain way. This in turn gives you the ability to unlock the drawers and locked doors around the game world, which can be extremely rewarding especially if you are low on resources, and demonstrates why the gameplay mechanics are entertaining. Even though it has gotten better in Biohazard, my biggest frustration with this game and almost every other Resident Evil game is the character's slow and clunky movement. I dislike the movement because it feels almost like I'm in a Michael Myers movie, and no matter how much I try to run from the enemies, they can simply just take 2 steps and hit me. For example, at the beginning of the game, when I was being chased around by Jack, every time I hit the sprint button my character would just take a nice slow jog away from him. This was mildly annoying because Jack would always grab me and either slam me to the ground or kill me, which was also the same experience I had with other enemies and why the movement was really frustrating to me. To conclude, Resident Evil Biohazard is a truly terrifying and fun game to play and will have you jumping in fear at even the slightest of sounds. With strategy-focused gameplay and engaging game mechanics, this game will have you carefully planning your next move and keep you entertained for hours. Also, let's not forget about the amazing visual graphics that are present within Biohazard, as these visuals do an excellent job of setting up the game's overall creepy and frightening atmosphere. Overall, despite my dislike for movement and running in this game, I had an absolute blast being scared half to death while playing Biohazard and would score it an 8 out of 10. This game was extremely fun to play and I would recommend it to anyone who enjoys solving complex puzzles and playing horror survival games. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. There will be more videos to come.